Footprints Without Feet. That is your second book, supplementary reader. Chapter 1, A Triumph of Surgery. In the title, a triumph means a victory. The writer, Mr. James Herriot, is the narrator of the story. The dog named Tricky, as you can see in the picture, is a hefty and very plump dog. He is the hero, protagonist, and the center character of the story. When Herriot, an experienced veterinary surgeon, saw the dog, he really became very worried. He was shocked to see him as he became hugely fat. The eyes of the dog were red, bloodshot. He was in the state of disease. The mistress of the dog, Mrs. Pumphrey, told Mr. Herriot the dog seemed to have no energy. So she gave him extra malt, cod liver oil, a bowl of Horlicks in between the meals. She also gave the dog some sweets like cream, cakes, and chocolates, despite Harriet's warning. Tricky had a very rich diet, so he became very greedy and could not refuse food at any time of the day or night. Herriot asked Mrs. Pumphrey if she had been giving the dog plenty of physical exercise, but she was ready with an excuse. On the contrary, she gave more food and pampered him. Therefore, it became difficult for the dog even to move. He started vomiting too. The narrator had a plan in advance. He suggested that Tricky should be hospitalized for a fortnight. Listening to this, the mistress became very worried. Tricky was taken to the hospital. At the hospital, the other dogs sniffed around him and ignored him in the beginning, but later gave a good company to him. Narrator kept an eye on Tricky for 2 days. He gave him plenty of water but no food. On the 3rd day, it started whimpering on seeing other dogs around. Tricky started to show progress in no time, without giving any medicine or treatment. He ran about with other dogs all day. Mrs. Pumphrey arrived at the narrator's surgery in a big car. The narrator told her that the dog was fine and he would bring it to her. When Tricky saw its mistress, it ran into the Mrs. Pumphrey's lap. He began licking on her face and barking her. As the car moved away, Mrs. Pumphrey leaned out of the window and tears shone in her eyes. Her lips trembled. She told the narrator with lots of gratitude that it was a triumph of surgery. Here, a surgery is a place where doctors, dentists, or veterinary surgeons treat their patients. I hope you liked the story of the dog Tricky and understood the importance of physical exercises and harm of excessive high caloric food. In next video, we will read the chapter. Thank you.